So let's start by finding just a comfortable seat on the mat, whatever that looks like for you. Roll your shoulders back and down, find that inner lift of your heart, up through the crown of your head, slightly nod your chin, soften your gaze or close your eyes. But just take a moment to come to your breath. Invite it to lengthen, to deepen, to slow down. So finding that flow of breath and setting your intention to link the flow of movement of your body up to your breath. So even if I'm speaking very quickly, nothing should ever be hurried or rushed through. If you need a different breath count than I'm saying or I'm moving at, please feel free to make this practice your own. I know some of you were with me throughout the month in our more alignment-based classes, and that's the beautiful thing. When alignment and form come together, we can flow, we can move. They should never be pitted one up against the other. It's like a really nice wine pairing. Let's come forward, blink your eyes open, come forward into a tabletop position. Just stack your knees right under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. We'll just warm up our wrists a little bit. You can shift front to back. You can shift side to side. Turn your hands and your arms all the directions that they go. And then we'll bring our fingers back forward or slightly turned out. If you're tighter across your chest, the fronts of your shoulders, you can turn open a little bit, no problem. Let's bring the big toes to touch. You can open your knees wider if you prefer. Push your hips back, big inhale. Exhale, draw up on your low belly a little bit to lengthen your low back, and then climb your arms out a little longer. Release your forehead, your nose down towards your mat. And allowing the weight of your pelvis, again, to help create a little bit more length. Using your breath, the inhalation, filling up your lungs to find more space on the bottom back, the bottom side ribs. Pressing your hands down into the mat, lift your chest up a little, look forward, keep your hips anchored back and down. And then exhale, just walk your hands, your torso a little bit over to the right. Think about lifting your right armpit up off the floor, hollow out your right arm, and push more through the left side. Next inhale, we'll come back through center. Anchor hips back and down. Exhale, walk your hands, your torso over towards your left. So same idea. Think about hollowing out your left armpit a little bit more and pressing more through the right hand down and forward to make more space. Right side waist, right side ribs. Inhale, we'll come back through center. Shift your hips forward, tuck your knees back under your hips, turn your toes under. Let your shoulders get a little shruggy towards the ceiling, not up towards your ears, but plug your arm bones. Keep your low belly toned. Shift your hips up and back. Good. From your shoulder blades through your finger pads, push down. From your shoulder blades up through your hips, push up and away. Like someone was playing tug of war with your spine a little bit. And then on your exhale, go ahead, straighten up your knees any amount. DWD, downward facing dog. Good. Walk your feet and your legs together. Inhale, lift your left leg high to the sky, down dog split. Exhale, bend your knee, turn your thigh open, fire hydrant. Good. Even here, think about hollowing out your right armpit. Your right shoulder will want to collapse. Don't let it. And push more through your left hand. Good. Inhale, square up. Exhale, step your left foot wide so it comes outside of your hand. And then spin your right heel down so your feet are flat. We got it. Sit deep in your front hip. Walk your hands to the open side. So we have down dog lunge. Your right hand can stay more or less where it is. Inhale, right heel lifts back up towards the ceiling. So we close that hip back up. Release your knee, pat it if you need. Exhale, spin your belly, your chest to the left. And you can press your thigh away. We're lifting up off the bottom shoulder. Yeah, and if you want to add in, left arm can reach forward. Exhale, we can reach up and back. You can stay here, open chest or hamstring curl to catch the pinky toe side of your back foot. Emptying breath out, turn to look at the mat, unravel your twist, whatever twist you have. Walk your hands back under your shoulders, inhale. Exhale, soften your elbows, melt your heart. So we might stay right here, working towards a lizard pose. Right elbow maybe comes down to the mat or blocks, and then the left. Right leg can stay heavy and relaxed, or the energetic version, you can kick the heel back and lift your thigh up. Yogi's choice. Walk the wrists back under the shoulders, plant your hands really well. So pick up your right knee if it isn't already, right side of your body's in a plank. We'll step back to down dog. Nice, walk your feet and your legs back together. Lift your right leg up and back. Bend your knee and roll your thigh open. And then notice it wants to collapse on the left side. Hollow out your left armpit, pick it up off the floor, and push more through your right hand. Good. Inhale, square up, down dog split. Exhale, step your right foot wide. Spin your left heel down. Sit deep in your front hip. And then walk your hands to the open side. So it's hamstring purgatory, for real. But we're using the push of our hands. It's a down dog lunge. So I make my upper body like down dog and find more stretch on the right side ribs. Nice, left hand can stay more or less where it is. Left heel lifts up. Exhale, release the knees, spin belly, chest to the right. Yeah, we can stay here. You could reach right hand forward. Exhale to reach back. Open chest version or hamstring curl to catch your back foot. Ooh, don't look in the video to do it. Whatever version you're on, it's fine. Just really push the floor away so you're getting up and over your shoulder. Exhaling, looking at the mat, releasing your twist. Plant your wrists back under your shoulders. Inhale deeply. Exhale to soften your elbows, melt your heart. Stop one. Left elbow can release towards blocks or mats. The right if that goes well. Left leg heavy, relaxed, or you can kick the heel back and lift your thigh. Climb our wrists back under our shoulders. Plant your hands really well. Pick up your left knee if it isn't already. We'll step back this time to plank. And plank can always be done with the knees down, but lift up on your low belly. Look a little bit forward and go forward. And then lower all the way down. Kick out your toes. Come on up through a Sphinx pose, elbows under your shoulders. Exhale, pretend you're grabbing the floor and pulling it back to help light up your back. Again, lift up low belly to help lengthen your low back. Beautiful. Hands slide back, we'll unravel. So make sure your wrists are under your elbows. Many of you know this drill with me. Hug your elbows in. Squeeze your shoulders up off the floor. Yeah, squeeze your back. Turn your toes under. Tone your belly. Lift your hip points up off the mat. Maybe you push to your knees. Maybe you push to your toes. But lead with your hips. Push up. Exhale to go back. Down dog. Good. Take a little peek towards your... Hey, bud. Take a little peek towards your hands. Step, walk, hop, tippy toe. Children are waving at me. Halfway lift, lengthen your back, look a little bit forward. Exhale to fold. You can keep your feet hip distance. You can keep your knees bent. Do what you need to there. Inhale, we'll come all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, turn your arms open, reach up, look up. Exhale, swan diving back over. Use your hip flexors to pull you over. Inhale, scoop your heart forward, half lift. Exhale to fold. Soften your knees. Let's take our right foot back. Good. Right hand under the shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, belly, chest spins to your left. Left hand can be on the hip or towards the ceiling. Good. And your right knee could always go down onto the floor. Yeah, looks awesome. We're going to spin our toes to face the left side of the mat. Yeah, so toes face the long edge of the mat. You may need to walk your left foot back a little bit. And then we're going to release our right hip down. Yes. It's okay if you get a little shruggy on your right shoulder. Right side ribs, chill towards the mat. If that's too deep on your wrist, you can always walk your hand farther away. And then you make like a fancy mudra for the gram. I call it Reclining Buddha, but there's it's a really great stretch on the right side. Great stretch on your wrist, but there's a key action here on your right foot. Can you press the pinky toe side of your foot down and firm up the outside line of your right leg? Yes. We're gonna look down at the mat. The fun part, you gotta hoist yourself back up and over. Use your feet, use your legs to lift your hips. Left arm plants under the shoulder. We come back to our right toe mounds. We can go back to down dog. Yeah. We made it. We made it. Big inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Yogi's choice. Step, walk, hop, tippy toe to the front edge. Halfway lift. We have a little palate cleanser, half sal. Exhale to fold. Good. This time we'll step our left foot back. Left hand right under the shoulder on the floor or block. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, spin belly, chest to the right. So we have a closed twist. Good. Right hip is hugging in. Left heel's kicking back, even if you drop your knee. We got it. And then both feet. Yes, the toes spin to the right. Your right foot maybe has to walk down your mat a little if your hip's a little tight. We release left hip down. Reclining Buddha. Adjust your hand farther away from your body if you need to. You can always shift your hips back too. And then push through the pinky toe side of your left foot. See if you can pick your left outer ankle up off the floor. Firm up that outside line. Yeah. The fun part, we gotta get back onto our hands, back facing the mat. So use your legs to lift your hips. Come on up and over. We'll meet back in down dog. Big inhale, nose. Loud exhale, mouth. Step, walk, hop, tippy toe, front edge. Half lift when you get there. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Yogi's choice, roll up or flat back. Hands to heart. And then hands to hip points. So we find our as-is, these pointy handles out front. Open your feet up hip distance. And that means that your heels are under your sits bones, under your hips. Yeah, it looks good. Shift the weight onto the left side. I'm not mirroring, heads up. Float your opposite heel, pivot, attach, and then neutralize your pelvis, this like hug in. Yeah, your hip wants to swing out to the side, don't let it. Imagine like that outside edge was against the floor like it just was. Good. If you want to add in, of course, you can come up to the inner calf, the inner thigh. I like my hands on my hips because I can tell that my pelvis is neutral. And then if you want to add in hands at the heart, out to the side, overhead. The higher you lift your arms, the higher you lift your gaze, the more it's going to challenge your balance. Beautiful. All right, unravel. We do a little flash dance. Shake it off. Running Man or something, I don't know. Shift the weight, yeah. Float the opposite heel. We don't have any music on here, but hopefully you do. Turn your thigh open, attach, neutralize your pelvis. And then if you want to add in, or maybe you're just singing a song. Yeah, Patrick's doing a little cheat. He's like grabbing his pant leg. I'll just call him out. He says he wasn't. Oh, he's gonna go again just to prove me wrong. It's not bad or wrong to grab your foot, yeah, but there's some good strength to be gained in lifting your own leg. Good, neutral. One more big breath here. And then we unravel, no big deal. Shake it off, make sure you're close to the front edge of your mat. Inhale to turn the arms open to reach up. Exhale to swan dive on over. Inhale, half lift, let it be really rhythmic, led by your breath. Exhale to fold. Soften your knees, right foot's gonna step back. We're going to warrior one. I prefer my feet to be more hip distance as we spin the right heel down. Yep. And then we'll climb ourselves on up. And then you can adjust the turnout if you need. Sit deep in the front hip, reach up, look up. Exhale, lift up on your low belly, grow a little taller from your back heel. Exhale, interlace your hands back behind you. If you can't reach, it's okay, just grab your shirt or a belt. Roll your shoulders open, lift your heart. Exhale, we'll fold. Humble warrior. Good. Instead of trying to reach your arms up and over your head, squeeze your shoulder blades down your back away from your ears. So it might cut out some of that range or height there. That's all right. Yeah, okay, some of you guys are bendy. If you need to, you can let your left hip swing a little bit out to the side without collapsing your front knee to come inside. Yep, nice. Release your bind. Just let your hands go. Inhale like half lift, look forward. Exhale, push the floor away, straighten up that front leg. You may need to move your hands to your shins, blocks. So we have pyramid pose. One more big breath here. Soften the front knee so that you can get your hands flat onto the mat. Load up your arms, your shoulders, get your shoulders over your hands, and then we'll step back to plank. There's many options or variations. There's many better things, I'll even say, than doing a chaturanga. If it's not for you, please don't do it. Conserve your shoulders. Cat-cow child's. Awesome, awesome idea. Inhale, we can go forward. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Exhale, we'll meet back Down Dog. We take a breath. Inhale, the right leg can lift up. Exhale, we'll bend our knee, roll our thigh open, fire hydrant. Inhale to square up. Exhale to step your foot through. Spin your left heel down. Inhale, Vira 1, second side. Exhale, interlace your hands and then switch to your non-dominant clasp. I just lost a lot of friends. Switch to you have a new bottom thumb. Usually feels pretty weird. Roll your shoulders open, look up. Exhale to fold. Good, and then think about reaching your knuckles, maybe not so much over your head, but squeezing your shoulder blades together and down. Beauty. Release your bind, let your hands go. Inhale to look forward like half lift. Exhale to straighten up your front leg by pushing the floor away, hugging, flossing your right hip under and back. Hands maybe need to move to shins, blocks, or the mat. It's all good. Nice. Inhale, lunge. Plant your hands. This time we'll go just a down dog. Left leg lifts up and back, fire hydrant. Inhale to square up. Exhale to step your foot through. Right heel spins down, kind of foot more parallel to the back edge. We're going Vira 2. Come on up. Exhale, we settle in. Good. Pelvis is more neutral. Front leg is like that bent knee tree leg. Straight leg strong, thighs pressing back. Inhale, you can tip your pelvis. Exhale to side angle. Good, so we might prop up on the thigh, you might be pushing into a block. Right hand or right shoulder is gonna lead the way or reaches straight up for the ceiling. Just like we did in pyramid pose, we strongly work towards a straighter front leg to find triangle. Yep. Good, look down at the mat. Cartwheel your hand overhead. Plant your hands well. Down dog to start. I'll just remind you, any of this can be done with your knee down. Yeah, from a table, no problem. All right. Left leg's gonna lift again, just a down dog split. Exhale, let your shoulders travel. We're taking our knee between our elbows. Try not to let it get heavy towards the floor. Push. Think thigh to belly, heel to butt, knee to nose. Good. Inhale, go back, down dog split. It's gonna get real warm. You guys are not gonna be cold anymore. Exhale, knee under and across. Yeah, look out to the right. And step your foot through. Spin your inner right heel down. Use your legs like we did before to lift your hips. We got fallen triangle. Or maybe you're like, reclining triangle. Suits me just fine, thanks. Good, look at the mat. Hands under shoulders. We step back, down dog split. Exhale, feet together. Whew. All right. Inhale to plank. Feel free to skip this. Exhale down through chop. Sphinx, Cobra, Up Dog. Exhale, back, down dog, or child's. We got it. Inhale, right leg's gonna lift up and back. Exhale, fire hydrant. Yes. Inhale to square up. Exhale to step through. Left heel spins down. Inhale, warrior two. We got second side. Exhale, we'll settle in. You can like adjust your hair, your clothes, do what you gotta do. Beauty. All right, inhale, reach over your front thigh. Exhale, your version of side angle. Maybe it looks different than mine. And then like we did in pyramid pose, left fingers reach for the sky. We strongly straighten our front leg. So our quads are really active, supporting our knee. And maybe our leg doesn't go all the way straight. Maybe our hand's not anywhere close to the floor. No problem. Any part of the pose is still the pose. Good. All right. Look at the mat, cartwheel your hands. Lunge forward, plant your hands well. We go back down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we have knee to nose. We stay for a breath. Push. Inhale to reach back. Exhale, knee to left armpit, under and across. Look out to the left and step your right foot through. Spin your inner left heel down, use your legs. Use your legs more than your arm. Or chill. Reclining triangle. Here, I'll add a mudra so it's fancy for the IG. Good, look down at the mat, left hand plants well, right foot goes up and back. Feet come together, downward facing dog. Big inhale through your nose. Big sigh, open mouth. Beautiful. Take a peek towards your two hands. Step, walk, hop, tippy toe, front edge. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Hands to heart center. Let's once again find our feet under our hips. I'm gonna shift to my right foot. Maybe it looks left to you. Float your left knee and pick it on up. You can hold under, out front. It's all good choices. If I keep my knee bent, I can still do a lot here. But drop that hip, so no hip hike. And no hip hike out to the side, yes? Hug in. If you want to add in, you can reach inside the thigh. You can make peace finger bind around your big toe joint. It's my preference to grab the outside arch, pinky toe side, personally. And then we can go towards a straighter leg. Yeah, and maybe it looks like this today. And maybe you're like holding on to something. We got it, we got it. And then we'll go out to the side. Any amount is fine. Padraig's trying to like challenge my balance for sure. Come back out front. Hold your leg up. Yes, and then release. Second side, yeah, you can shake it off in between. But yeah, it's very windy in here. Shift your balance, new standing foot, pick up your knee. And you can hold out front, underneath. You may have a better idea now that you know where we're going. If you want, peace finger, big toe joint. Yeah, the mound of your big toe, not the joint. Or the pinky toe side arch. But your arm's in charge. Yeah, as much as you're pulling back on your foot, that's how much you'll kick. Hug your standing outer hip in. Good, and then you can open out to the side any amount. Got windy. Look at something that's not moving. Good, we'll come back out front. Hold, 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 hold. Eee. And then release. Nice. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Let it go. Soften your knees. Right foot once again goes back. Spin your heel down. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale to settle in. Inhale to prep for side angle. Exhale to find your pose, your version. Inhale to reach your right fingers up, or hand on the hip is fine. Lead with the shoulder. Straighten up your front leg to triangle. And then right hand, right shoulder leads the way. I'll break it down. If you know Skandasana, surf lunge, we're going surf lunge on the right side. Pick yourself up. Turn your left toes off on the diagonal. Turn your right toes out on the diagonal. And sit into your right thigh. We might stay here. You might hold the floor. You might start to park it. Yeah. If you sit in this like deep lunge on the right side, make sure that you're turning your left thigh open. Toes and kneecap face up. And just double check you could still bend your knee. Beauty. All right, we're gonna go to the back edge of the mat or towards our right side. Step back to dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up and back. Exhale to fire hydrant. Inhale to square it up. Exhale, knee comes under and across. We'll skip knee to nose, good news. Step out and find your fallen triangle once again. Or reclining. All right, left hand cartwheels overhead, plant it well. Pivot back to the ball of your left foot. Right foot goes up. We find fire hydrant, spin your left heel to the floor. And step the right toe mounds down behind you. Use your legs to lift your hips. Right hand hip, right arm over. So it can be more like a crescent side plank. It doesn't have to be like wild thing. Go and look at the mat, right hand mat. Right foot goes up and back. Exhale, feet come back together. Very nice, very nice. All right. Inhale to plank, definitely skip vinyasa. Skip it if you need to. Plank, cha, up dog, down. Any version in between. Good. If you're resting in down dog, child's pose is always a good option. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale, open mouth. Good. Consolidate your breath. We got to do the second side, of course, right? All right, so right leg can step through. Left heel spins down. Don't worry, I know we're still on the back edge of the mat. I just got to look. Warrior two, make sure you're warrior two, second side, yes? Good. Inhale to prep. Exhale, side angle. Inhale to open your chest, expand. Exhale to find triangle. Inhale to pull yourself all the way up and to pivot your legs. So I turn my right toes, I turn my left toes, I sit into my left hip. Maybe I hold the floor. Maybe we find surf lunge. If you're sitting into that like half malasana shape, just make sure your right thigh is turning open and you could still bend your right knee. We've got it. All right, we're gonna turn all the way to our left. We're coming back to front edge of the mat. Left leg goes up and back. Exhale to fire hydrant. Inhale to square up. Exhale, knee under and across. Step through. Use your legs to lift your hips, fallen triangle. Or reclining is totally fine. Good, look at the mat, right hand under the shoulder, left foot goes up and back. Exhale, roll the thigh back open. You can even bend your right knee, you'll get closer to the floor. Step the toe mounds of your left foot behind your right leg and use your legs to lift your hips. So yeah, we have more of like a crescent side plank. Good, look at the mat. Unravel. Skip vinyasa, otherwise plank. Trot. Up dog. Down. Maybe you're adding an extra chaturanga push-up because you're like, fire. I'll never know. I'll never know. I'll give you props on the internets. All right, take a peek toward your two hands. Step, walk, hop, tippy toe, front edge. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise all the way up to the top. Hands to heart center. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to find chair pose, Utkatasana, but reach your arms out front. All of a sudden, some of you know what's about to happen. Yup. Squeeze your knees together if you can, but zip up your inner upper thighs for sure. Sit a little deeper and reach more forward. It's going to be your counterbalance. Yep. Sit as deeply as you can, reach more forward. If you need to adjust your feet, of course, do it. Use your hands if you need to. Bring your seat all the way to the mat. Hold on the underside of your thighs, lift up your chest, and find that balance point on your bum. Yeah, we might stay here. We might even keep our feet flat on the floor and just lean back a little. It's a good place to work. All right, you could lift your shins up. You could can. You could straighten both legs. You could release your hands. Lift your chest, look up. Good. Exhale, let's find low boat. That's where our toes are more in line with our Arda. They call this half boat. That's ridiculous. Maybe you want tuck instead. And then rest. Whew. Big inhale. Big exhale. Beautiful. Hold to the underside of your thighs. Squeeze your knees together. Exhale, scoop up on your low belly. So I try to touch my knee to my nose to my knee. And then we rock ourselves back up. Because it's adorable. You thought I was only going to do one. Let's play first. Let's find butterfly to start. That's kind. That's nice. I'll show from this angle. So the bottoms of the feet are touching. More the pinky toe sides. Your big toe joints might not touch here. That's okay. The thighs are turning out. I think about lengthening the inseam of my thigh as my outer hips are working. That's what takes the knee down. Yeah, it's not because I'm pushing my knees. You guys are like easy. All right, easy. I'm turning this way so you don't, like you guys can have the good seats, but not the good seats. Like Utthita, Petra's like, he knows what's about to happen. You can take your peace finger binds around the big toe mounts, or my preference is to take my hands around the pinky toe side arches. I have nerve damage in my feet, so it's a better fit for my body. And then I play a little here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Can I find that balance point? Maybe. And look, if you rock back, it's Pilates. It's fine. It's allowed. Just make sure there's nothing behind your head. All right. If you want to play a little more, straighten. Straighten. That's like the test. You all passed. Maybe both legs. Maybe it's like happy baby today. That's okay. Good. Lift your chest, look up where the wall meets the ceiling. Now you can see why I turned my body, yes? Yeah, if you roll back, it's open like rocker. It's a thing. It's a real thing. Padra's like breaking stuff over there. That's how we got these new lights. All right, let's tuck our knees back in. We will roll back on purpose now, coming down onto our back. Tuck your knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze and a little rock. It's a good sign. It's a good sign when we're down on the floor. Let's hug our left knee in and extend the right leg heavy and relaxed onto the mat. So I think about my My brain just works in directions. I lift up on my shin as if I was trying to take my knee over my head. Yeah, and then I press it down. And then you'll notice that that probably tucks the left side pretty tightly. Your low back is probably gonna get smooshy, technical term, smooshy on the floor there. So to counteract that, I press my left hip down and away, trying to come back to neutral lumbar low back curve. Yeah, and that puts tension back into my arms for sure. So we're working a little in opposition. Yeah, nice. Right knee comes back in, take a breath at the top. And then we switch. We'll hug the right knee in, left leg can chill, heavy, relaxed. I think about taking my right knee over my head and then my shin down. To counteract tucking too tightly or deeply, I press my right hip down and away, and that adds tension back into my arms a little bit. But it's just to work in opposition. Mm-hmm. Nice. Left knee comes back in to meet the right. Take a breath. Let's sneak our hands to the underside of our thighs. Inhale. Exhale, split open knees, ankles, feet. So we're just moving more stretch to the inseam of our upper thighs. Adductors worked hard today. Give them a little break. And if you need more, you could always bring the bottoms of your feet more parallel to the ceiling to happy baby. Yeah, you can walk your hands up, calves, ankles, feet. Yeah, even here you could do like peace finger bind. It's not bad or wrong. Some people like to have their knees inside. I like to have my arms inside and a little more external rotation of my thighs. That just means my knees are going farther away from my body before I take them towards the floor. Yeah, I see some people rocking. Definitely, if that's soothing to your low back, do that. For a lot of us, it's really nice on the nervous system, across the low back. A very thick band of fascia that attaches into the pelvis. Good. And then we'll tuck our knees back into the chest. I'm going to cue the eagle leg twist or Garuda twist. If you prefer something different, feel free. We'll take the arms open. We'll bring the feet back to the mat, legs close together, knees bent. Left thigh over top of the right, like you were sitting cross-legged at the table. And then I would suggest that you push your right foot down, lift your bum, lift your hips up. It doesn't need to be a lot, and move them to your left. Left leg on top, hips go to the left. Doesn't have to be a lot. Inhale, perhaps your knees pick up into your chest. Exhale, your legs go to the right. Yep. If your left shoulder lifted up off the floor, it came along for the ride, drive your right elbow and the back of your head into the mat. Lift your right rib cage up, square your chest back up to the ceiling, and then relax. You can turn your head to either side. I generally prefer to keep my neck neutral, but looking over either shoulder is a really great option. Top half of your next exhale, unravel your twist. Move your hips back in line. And then we can slide our left knee out to the side so we're more ankle over the right thigh. And I still have my ankle bone a little past my quads because it feels better. We can stay here, Sukhi Randrasana, figure 4. You could use the strength of your right leg to fold your knees into your chest, thread your hands through the window and catch. You can catch under your right thigh or on top of the shin. One more full breath at the bottom of this space. And then we can let go of our leg if we have hold. Uncross. Open your feet wider than your hips. Just give a little windshield wipe from side to side. And then we'll do that on the second side. So we'll walk our feet and our knees back together, right thigh over top of the left. I would suggest we shift our hips, bump them a little to the right. Inhale, maybe your knees pick up into the chest. Exhale, legs fall to the left. Everyone's like children and pets. It's the best, man. Okay, if your right shoulder, I'll get back in it. If your right shoulder is off the ground, just drive your left elbow to the back of your head to lift up your ribs. Turn, square up your chest. And then if you had your head turned to either side the first time around, of course, I suggest that you turn it to the second side now. Top half of your next exhale, we can unravel, move your hips back in line, conveniently pretty close, so we'll just slide our right thigh out. You could always just walk your left foot a little closer, use the strength to fold your knees in, thread your hands through, and catch under or on top. Notice for yourself, I noticed that definitely this side is a little tighter for me. It was causing a bit of a twist in my pelvis. So like we did before, press your left hip down and away. See if you can bring equal pressure to the back side from side to side. And then we'll unravel. One last time, take your feet wide, give that little windshield wipe. As you come through center, you could let your inner knees just turn into touch, adjust the stance of your feet if you need to, this pose that we call constructive rest. You can stay there or kick out your heels one at a time to Shavasana. Prop, bolsters, blankets, cushions, anything you need to be comfortable. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Big sigh, open mouth. Allowing your breath to seek out its own steady rhythm. And all time, just 60 more seconds. I've got the time for you. If you have the luxury, the desire to rest longer, please just ignore me when I tell you to get back up, but I will stop talking so you can rest deeply. Beginning to flood your body, each and every cell with fresh breath, fresh energy. Sending it out to your fingers and your toes as you move. Stretch any way that your body is calling for. And then coming on up and around to a comfortable seat. And if you want to stay and rest, you can turn off the recording. If you're on recording, just ignore me. If you use hand gesture or mudra, please feel free. Find that inner lift of your heart and slight nod of your chin as we soften our gaze or close our eyes to draw awareness back in. To always end practice on that nod of thankfulness, of gratitude for strong and capable bodies to show up and move in the ways that we just did. It's pretty awesome. We often don't give ourselves enough credit. Any amount of the pose is still the pose. If we were to come to the mat and take child's pose for 60 minutes, it would still be a good day. Let's take one final breath here. Inhale, fill up completely. Big sigh, open mouth. Namaste. Mahalo. Thank you.